So anyway, yes, working at this place is amazing.
I bet.
Except for the
So is the temperature as bad as you thought it would be?
not yet. It's
Not
also
yet.
it's also been below freezing all this week.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean it's not been cool on Wednesday and Thursday. Both days I almost passed out. Um
You almost passed out?
yes. Wednesday was different than Thursday though. Thursday wasn't so bad. Like it was bad. I almost passed out, but cuz I have heat issues.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get heat stroke every year.
You gotta drink that water, bro.
I drank so much water. And then I didn't pee for 6 hours. Not because I didn't have a chance, but because it just was going other places.
Coming out your pores.
Yeah, exactly. That's really not a good thing.
It's really not. I agree.
But I have been told that I will adapt eventually.
That's what I told you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you told me. That's what the people there have told me.
Yep.
Case. Yeah, but I mean, the best way I describe this is what I said to my HR manager yesterday, because he's checking up. He's like, okay, well, how do you like working here? How was your first week? I'm like, it was actually really great, despite the fact that I almost passed out twice. I didn't tell them that,
Yeah.
because you don't tell them that. That's not something for their ears. But I said basically what I've just done is I have joined a gym, which requires you to show up every day and work out for 10 hours. Yes. And I said, well, the best part is that you guys pay me for doing that. Yes, that's also the case. I'm like, I'm good. I'm gonna be half the man I am in a couple of months.
That's exactly how it was with me at my job that was similar to what you're doing now. Um, like there were 2 nights in particular that we were so busy, um, and it was my fault, but we were so busy, and I'm the kind of person that if it's my job, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to ask for help. You may offer help, and I will accept your help, but I'm not going to ask for it.
Okay.
And so there were 2 nights in particular where I was so busy that it was literally just go, 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 go all night. So I did not have time to stop and eat. If I had asked somebody, "Hey, can you come over here and watch this while I go eat?" somebody would have done it. But I did not do that because that is not how I work. That's not how I operate.
I'm very much the same way. We have a scheduled half-hour paid lunch. Like we have to take lunch, and we're paid to do that. We're not like to leave the premises or anything because they're paying us to be there. Yeah. But like, I almost wish that we didn't have that. I would rather just work through that time.
Yeah.
I'll eat when I get off. That's how
like
that's how I'm processing.
To the point that when like there's been times where I've physically hurt myself and I could not do things. Like at my current job, and I was just have to sit there and watch other people do what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And it drives me insane.
Yeah.
But there were 2 nights in particular where I worked all the way through, did not stop to eat, and I lost 20 pounds in one night. Twice.
That's I mean, like, I'm assuming it came back.
It did come back, yes.
Yeah, that's mostly just water weight.
Yeah, but it was crazy. Like the first time it happened, I almost passed out by the end of the night from exhaustion.
I thought about it, but I didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime I have something extreme like that happen, I weigh myself just to see. It's always fun.
I mean, like, it's not that it's been extreme, but it's been steady, constant work for the last.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's now been 6 days because
something you're not used
to.
Too.
Well, I mean,
what now?
I also worked.
Oh, you worked this morning?
Yeah, it was. So one of the reasons why we're hiring, which is a question you asked before we started, is we unfortunately had one of our guys died. I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before. Got in a car accident on his way to work.
Yeah, not work related.
No,
okay.
Not work related. We
I
did
was like,
not.
you're being very somber about this.
I didn't know. I didn't know him. I don't know who he was, but I am getting the idea that not only was he like really nice person, that everyone really liked him, but he was also incredibly good at his job, which is why we had to work overtime today because nobody else knew how to do quite how he did what he did, and it slowed down
Yeah.
production for the whole factory by a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I always strive to do that, to do my job so well that when I leave, they can tell.
Oh, I have gotten that from my previous employer. Actually, I should. Where did I put? I'm gonna throw this in the chat. Oh, but my name is on there. Darn it.
Hurry, redact it quickly.
Or wait a second. I can let me maybe did I already post this in here? I probably already did. Um did I post rubber band ball in this chat?
I think so.
Uh
It sounds familiar.
yeah, when I quit my job, I brought in a rubber apparently I didn't. Wow, okay. Well, new information then. So I
Maybe you just talked about it.
possibly. Well, I actually have a picture of it. So for the entire 4 years that I worked at my previous employer, I was in the mailroom, and every day when the mail came, they dropped off. Mail was wrapped up in rubber bands, and so it's usually like maybe one or two a day, or sometimes less or something more. But I average like one rubber band every day.
Hmm.
I'm just working through my day. I'm taking stuff off. I'm doing my thing, and um I just take it off, stuff in my pocket. After a couple of weeks, I have like 60 rubber bands at my house. I'm like, well, what am I going to do with all these rubber bands? I don't need them. No purpose for them. I'll start making a rubber band ball because that's a rational thing to do.
I agree.
And so, uh, I started assembling this gigantic rubber band ball, and it did. There it is. So 4 years of rubber bands. It's larger than a softball. Weighs about 3.5 pounds.
Checks out.
So I don't even know how many rubber bands are in there. There's no core. It's just rubber bands. So I bring this in on my last day, and my boss didn't know that I was doing this, and she freaks out because there's like this random huge rubber band. Well, they took it and they bought a softball case, and they have framed it. And, well, I mean, they tried to. It was actually too big for the case, so it's just kind of resting on top. I'm gonna see if I can make this picture something that I can actually share. Um,
Yeah, just do a quick edit over it.
yeah, live on air.
Yeah. You can't talk and do that at the same time?
It's really difficult for me. I have limited multitasking abilities.
Hmm.
First of all, it's kind of a framing on it is terrible. uh, that out. That out. Perfect. Copy. And let's this go. Yeah. So like they made a frame for it. Well, I mean, they bought a frame.
Here lies the rubber band ball from previous H2 services representative. Collected every single rubber band. You missed a word, by the way.
That's fine.
From the Daily Mail delivery, and over the 4 years of his residence, ended up with this ball.
It's majestic, isn't it?
It is quite majestic. I'm quite impressed, actually.
Like that's the kind of exit you want to make from a company where they make a shrine in your exit. I mean, I provided all the shrine materials except for the actual like case, but like there is a permanent, I mean, semi-permanent remembrance of my time there that they put up without like I was just bringing it in for jokes. I thought they were just gonna like disassemble it or use it for the rubber bands. They're like, no, this is getting a place of prominence. I'm like, okay, that's nice.
Ooh, that's nice.
So yeah, Also, when I left, I sent out an email to all to the whole office, be like, hey, just so you guys know, you're not gonna see me no more. Here's why. Here's where I'm going. Been fun. Like I got like 70 plus responses from that from people who I didn't even know liked me. One guy, one of the attorneys, on the last day, I don't know if I told this story before or not.
Called you to the office about wants you to be his
yeah. I'm like
wedding.
Yeah, he wants me to officiate his wedding. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. Why not?
Yep.
I don't get it, man. It's, I mean, I do because I mean, I try to treat people right. I try to be a nice guy. I don't always succeed. In fact, that's actually something I realized this week. Boy, we're shifting topics too quickly. But yeah, I realized this week that I'm actually that like my key failing as a person, as a minister, as all kinds of stuff, is that I provide precisely the same answer to a question, no matter what context it's asked in. So, so if someone's asking me like, okay, well, what is your opinion on X, Y, and Z? If it's someone who is asking just for information, if it's someone who's asking, how does this apply to me? If someone is asking, if it's an answer on a test, I'm going to answer that question in the exact same way, totally irrespective of the personal situation that may be surrounding that, which is not the greatest thing because it's, you're supposed to be speaking the truth in love. I've got the speaking the truth part down, not so much the in love part.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been pointed out to me a couple times recently, and especially on Thursday, that perhaps I should spend a little more time focusing on that second part, because I run roughshod over people's feelings and I don't even notice or care. I'm not sure if it's necessarily that I don't notice or that I don't care or some combination of the both, but somehow or another that equation works out. That's what I do. And it's not that I'm trying to be like be judgmental or anything else like that. It's just like, hey, this is the answer. Do with it what you will, kind of thing. I don't know. I have problems, man. That was my big,
I agree.
That was my big realization for the week. You have a lot of time to think when you're just picking up heavy stuff and moving it around. Also, I
know that all too well.
Also, it's really loud, so nobody can hear you if you're talking or doing anything else, and you can't hear them. So it's largely not worth the effort. So I don't bother. We're right next to the loudest machine in the building. What do you expect us to talk about? Also, we have to, we're running in 3 different directions. I don't think this is going to work out so well for a meaningful, deep conversation. Yeah. That's been my week. I've also taught twice this week on rest, which was just how things played out. So that's been fun. I haven't posted the second one yet, because that's supposed to be on the Truth and Value page, and that's why I'm an hour late. That's why it took me an hour, because I hadn't recorded that yet, and it was supposed to be up to date like 5:30, and not, and it's still not, and it's probably not going to be until tomorrow because I'm just tired. Like I
need rest.
I took my own advice. I laid down I had multiple Bible studies cancel on me today. Also, I got called into work, so I had to cancel one of them too. And so I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to take full advantage of this. And I went and I slept. And I was like, oh, I'm going to lay down for 2 hours. That didn't happen.
Because you slept longer than 2 hours?
Because I slept a lot longer than 2 hours.
That checks out.
Like I laid down around 12
Um,
and I got back up around
Wednesday,
7.
Wednesday I was exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
and so I went to bed at 6.
Mm.
Like, not went to bed and laid in bed for a couple of hours. No, I went to bed and went to sleep at 6,
Yep. I understand that.
and did not wake up till 6:30 the next morning.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. With the shifting of my schedule, I'm finding myself like I have to go to bed earlier. I have to.
Yeah.
It is is a non-negotiable requirement. So like last night, there's a group of folks. Well, you know the group of folks, the church folks up here in Michigan that we get together from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
We had a get together at my parents' house. We had like 12 people there, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I have to leave at 9 o'clock because I have to be at work at 5 a.m. today. 9 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, just wait a second. I'll do one more game. We're playing like Quiplash or something.
Yeah.
9:30 rolls around. I'm like, okay, well, I should get out of here. And I started to reach. I'm like, oh, let's do one more, and then you can go. Okay. 10 o'clock. I stand like, okay, folks, I really gotta go. Okay. And so I had brought my Kevlar bodysuit with me because that's a requirement for working in a glass factory. And it needs to be cleaned.
Interesting.
It definitely needs to be cleaned. Well, you don't want to get cut. Kevlar's
That's
really
true.
good at making sure you don't get cut. Also,
That's true. That probably doesn't help with the hot, but you know.
It does not. But I will say this. Like I said, we have like a multi-tiered bonus system. One of your bonuses is safety, personal safety. Like you can break glass all day long. Okay, there's also a separate tier bonus for that. But like one of your biggest, most regularly recurring bonuses is don't hurt yourself. Just show up on time.
Oh,
don't hurt yourself. Oh, did I lose you?
Yep, I lost you.
I was gonna say, well, as I said, the podcast heard me. You didn't. That one of the most regularly recurring bonuses is don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Don't cut yourself, and they give you lots of money. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let's make that happen. Let's make that the norm.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
So I'm not a big fan of the Kevlar bodysuit, but in terms of if I wear it, I earn money. Okay, that's fine. I'll do that.
Yes, you are paying me to wear this. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I will do that all day.
Literally all day. At the end of the week, it can kind of stand up on its own. But that's a whole other story. That might just be a me thing. But yeah, like it's actually it's not particularly brain busting, but I kind of am enjoying that. It's like I said, there's a lot of time for me to think about other things there rather than have to try and figure out why X shipment didn't get to Y destination.
Yep. You just sit there and move things and think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I did a lot of that at my last job. Sometimes I would get so deep in thought that everybody thought I didn't like them, which was not entirely untrue. But my supervisor at the time said, "Oh no, that's a thinking man. He's over here thinking about how stupid we are." And I was like, "Well, you're not wrong."
That is one thing that was a frequent topic at my previous employer. Incredibly smart people. Incredibly productive, profitable business.
Yep.
I don't understand how. I don't understand at all how they made money. Because every single bill they sent out for the entirety of my tenure there, every single bill they paid was late. Every time you pay a bill late, there is a late fee.
Yep.
Tens of thousands of dollars a year just in late fees. I'm like, you could hire me again for the amount of late fees you guys are paying in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Why? It's not that, like, I can do this at my time at home. Why can you guys not figure this out who have, like, buku degrees and all kinds of, like, you're smart people. Figure this one out. Please. It's causing me stress. Particularly when someone paid something late enough that the retailer or whatever, the provider, I forget what the proper word is. Gonna bug me. I don't know. But the company that was providing the services cut off those services. You haven't paid your bill. Like, it's not my fault, man. I'm just trying to keep my job. And that's the other thing. Every mistake at the law firm was potentially a firing expense. Or a firing offense. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not, like, that's not great. That's not a very conducive work environment. My second day, or I guess it was actually the third day on the job, one of the guy I'm working with directly, who's kind of like training me and showed me like how to move glass around the building. He's like, yeah, you need to be a little less careful. And I'm like, but they're bonusing me on safety. And he goes, no, you don't understand. Like, you can break glass. We have a lot of glass in this building. If you break glass, we have more. Oh. I mean, I'm still going to try not to break glass, but that makes me feel a lot better. Thank you, I guess. So it's like, the things in my mind that'd be like a major deal are just like, no, it happens. The first couple of days, there was a guy who was working with me, and he got moved to a different department because, again, things got shifted around and moved because of need. But his nickname in the building is the Glass Destroyer. And he's still employed. Like, he breaks more glass than anybody else by a magnitude of, by a lot. Like, you put like 6 people together, he still breaks more glass than any of them. Still employed. And I'm like, apparently this is not a big deal. Like, this is just not a big deal at all. I mean, again, I'm still trying to be careful. I'm still trying to do things right, but like, but yeah, it's fun. It really is, and really nice guys. I haven't quite, it's me, so I have not yet really asserted my personality yet. So they don't really know me at this point, but it's been really good. Also, Masters.
Yep.
I know that this is not that, like, one of the rules, the unspoken and spoken rules about doing this podcast is that it cannot be political.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a
weird
political observation?
Sure.
Okay. So, trying to figure out if I should make it. Yeah, I'm going to make it first, and I'm going to walk it back. All right. I think I think that everyone on the right wing should be 100% pro-vax.
Okay.
Get the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
I say this not just because I got my stage 1 yesterday.
I get mine Tuesday.
But okay, so let me follow this through. I was like, I'm not going to get the vaccine because it's really annoying. I've been trying. Yeah. I've been trying to catch COVID.
It was 100%. My parents keep asking, "Are you going to get it? Are you going to get it?" I don't know. Maybe eventually. It's like, for me, it was a convenience factor. If I could just walk down the street and get it and be done with it, then sure, I'll get it. And last week I got an email from Walgreens. Mm-hmm. Hey, come get your vaccine. Okay, I'll go to Walgreens. I'm not going to go to a hospital or to a huge thing where I have to sit in a car line for 12 hours. Yeah. No.
So,
but sure, I'll go to Walgreens and.
So Tuesday, the HR manager walks up and he like hands his piece of paper to the guy I'm working with, and it's loud. I can't hear anything. I walk up, hey, what's going on? Oh, we have a vaccine clinic coming in on Friday. Oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. No, it goes further. It goes, oh yeah, and by the way, if you get your vaccine, we're going to bonus you $250. Where do I sign up?
Exactly.
Can I get it
It's all
affordable?
about, for me, it was all about convenience.
I mean, like,
Is somebody going to pay me to do it? Absolutely.
like, number one becomes incredibly convenient, and then you're going to pay me to do this? Yeah, sign me up. Let me be first in line.
Yeah.
Now, this does not necessarily factor into my thought process, but like as I'm getting it, I'm starting just thinking, well, okay, let me actually process what it is that I'm doing, because there's been a lot of controversy about this and people just saying stupid stuff, and
a lot of stupid stuff.
A lot of stupid stuff, on both sides, and like the chief stupid thing, the number one reason why I was going to get this, I kind of talked myself into getting it, aside from the $250. That's always nice, but I was like, I was leaning that direction anyway, is that my church is trying to go maskless. It is our goal by the end of May to not have to wear masks in the building anymore.
Oh, you guys up there, you haven't already done that?
No, we haven't. We're trying to.
That's the main reason I've stopped going to church, is because all of them are already maskless and have been for months. Like 6+ months.
I would have been totally on board with that. I have been trying to catch COVID. Apparently, I ain't got it. I've never had it, because apparently there's a thread that popped up in Mumble's D&D chat about how if you have had it, that the first dose of the vaccine, reacts poorly with your system. I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
My arm hurts, but everything else is fine. So it's like, okay, apparently I didn't get it.
That's going to be fun then, because I've had it twice.
Anyway, I don't know about that. Yeah. It's a rumor. It's kind of unsubstantiated.
Well, I will tell. Ducky has had it. No, Ducky hasn't had it, and she hasn't been feeling too well.
Well,
she just got her first shot, so I think it's just really hit or miss.
Probably. Anyway, so I feel fine.
Yeah.
But where was I going with it?
I'm hoping I feel fine.
Yeah, we're trying to go maskless at my church, and so the pastor's like, okay, we need to work out like what is a reasonable percentage of people who go to our church who could have either already had it and have natural antibodies, or people who have gotten the vaccine, and combine those two together and get a percentage of folks who we say, okay, this many have had it or got the vaccine, we're safe, we're opening back up, no masks, irrespective of what anybody else says. And he's like, okay, he feels comfortable at 50%. We're like, just to be safe, let's try and go for like 75% either vaccinated or already had it and they're fine. We go, okay, that sounds like a good number. I'm like, okay, so I will consider getting the vaccine because I want to not have to deal with masks at church anymore, because it's just a pain in the butt. As far as I'm concerned. So this is already in my mind, and then they're like, oh yeah, we'll pay you $250 to come in and get your vaccine. And I'm like, okay. So before they cut work off at 2:00, which was great, because then we didn't have to do anything else. The whole rest of the day, and they still paid us for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always nice. They brought in Jimmy John sandwiches and a snow cone machine. That was also pretty cool. And this lady who's running everything, she gets up and she starts making her presentation. And she says, oh yes, I got vaccinated or like at the beginning of the year, and I've been fully vaccinated, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, this is probably just difference in perspective. But why are you still wearing a mask? Because all the science and everything that we're seeing, it says, okay, if you have the vaccine, and like even to the point on airlines, if you have your vaccine passport or whatever, you don't have to wear a mask on the plane. She's standing 20 feet from the nearest person, she's still wearing a mask. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. You've already been vaccinated, you can't get it, and you can't spread it to anybody else. Why are you still wearing it? And this is where I came to the conclusion that all conservatives need to get vaccinated and then need to create a movement. Because the vaccine, which I am realizing now is one of the greatest things that was done by our previous president, is that he got a vaccine in the hands of the public before he left power. Because if this had gone through the normal procedure, we'd still be 3 years away from actually having a vaccine for it. We have one. We should get vaccinated. We should say, okay, that was fun. Let's get back to business. And the more people, again, I don't know what the proper number is. At my church, we're going to say 75%. If we want to say nationally, it's like 90%. Well, we already know that everybody else who's on like the other side of the spectrum, who's not particularly conservative, they're already getting vaccinated. People like me who are very conservative, been kind of reticent. This is kind of like the parting gift from our last president. We should take it, get it, say, okay, we've now reached herd immunity. So long to all these restrictions. Give us back our country. That's my political rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Alrighty then.
Yep. That's my political rant. That's as political as I'm going to get. I will now return to regularly scheduled programming. Also, I'm getting $250 for getting a vaccine. So for free.
Word.
Oh.
So how are benefits for this place?
I don't know yet. Those benefits don't kick in until the 90th day. But they do have full benefits. They do have a retirement program, which I'm not entirely sure I'm going to participate in because they pay a lot less than my previous employer. My previous employer was crazy. They matched 25% up to your first $5,000.
Yeah.
Like, that's unheard of. Fantastic. It was the reason I signed up to work there. Like, you guys are going to pay me an extra $1,250 for just doing what I was going to do anyway? Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Yeah, my employer does 7% regardless of if I put anything in or not.
Mm-hmm. I think there's
and it's 3% into my 401k and 4% into the ESOP.
Okay. I think there's a 3% 401k match, but I'm not sure how far that goes. And if it's only 3%, I may skip it and just go directly. Okay, 3%. I'm not going to do math on stream, but it's at 3%. It's kind of questionable as to whether it's worth it to do that or just to have a separate account outside of work and just dump my money in there, because that's where all my money's going to be anyway when I roll over.
Have you already transferred all of your stuff from your previous job?
I have not, because the payout for the matching and also an end of year bonus, which is being applied directly to my retirement account, both of those don't get paid out until September 15th. And on September 15th, I'll get the money, I'll transfer that out, and then it will be mine, which is good. But if I can, I might want to skip the 3% match and just start dumping my money directly into a Roth, because then there's no taxes when you take it out.
Yep.
Screw the government. Wow. Okay, I was trying to. I just realized that was not necessarily unpolitical. Taxation is theft. Darn it. Oh. That was another thing I was doing. So Thursday, I almost passed out, and I just got mean with myself. Like you're not all my villain voices started coming out. You're not going to drop this glass. You're going to carry it exactly and no one can hear me. So I'm just I'm yelling at myself in villain voices and just you can't do this. Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. You can handle this glass. Keep moving. I'm like, yeah, I was having fun. And I didn't die.
Sounds like it. It sounds like it.
It's really helpful when nobody can hear what you're doing and you're screaming on the top of your lungs, "Don't drop it, Gavi!
Don't drop the brushes! Don't drop it! Master will be mad at us!"
It's only 100 pounds. Keep going. More and it's actually not so much that people would be mad at me. It's just that I don't want to have to clean it up.
Yeah.
Oh, but that is one of the cool things though, because there is, you break glass. It's part of what you do there.
Yeah.
Not just accidentally, but sometimes intentionally. The piece comes off the line, it's clearly broken. On Thursday, we had a 8 by 10 foot sheet of 1/2-inch glass. It's 400 pounds of glass. Huge. It comes off the line with this huge crack in it. Nothing we can do. we pop it, and you would think like, okay, it's just going to shatter and it's going to fall. It launched glass 25 feet away from the line. And I'm like, okay, now the Kevlar makes sense. On the other hand, I'm also looking at all the stuff that happened over this summer, with a lot of glass being broken everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how are there not people just shredded to bits? Because now glass breaking is dangerous. Now I know what that can do. And like, this is tempered glass, it's breaking. If it's not tempered, it's probably even more dangerous, because then you just have big shards that are flying everywhere.
Yep.
I'm like, how, like, you can't bring enough first aid supplies to account for the amount of injuries we should be having everywhere. This makes no sense to me at all. I will say this. There's a guy, I'm going to post this. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Ryan Long. He does comedy videos. Questionable comedy videos. But he did one a couple weeks ago about glass breaking. And find it. Another company profiting from unrest. There we go. And basically what it is he and his friend create a company to break glass by night and replace it by day. So, fun things.
What?
Yeah. So they, like, during that night, they put on their black bloc uniforms. They go around as part of unrest groups, and they break glass. And then during the day, they put on a different shirt that says "not unrest groups," and they walk up to the businesses that they broke the glass from the last night and said, "Hey, can we replace your glass?" It's a comedy sketch.
Sounds like comedy.
I mean, well, I realized I'm in a growth industry right now, because
oh my goodness.
everybody needs glass right now. It's easy
Wow.
to break.
Wow. Yeah, it's all those women out there breaking ceilings.
Not so much. Oh man. I've been having a great week. And the thing is, I actually feel really good. I'm not sure if this is just like my body's like, oh, okay. So Wednesday and a little bit on Thursday, after I got past the, okay, I'm going to die, and I realized I wasn't going to die. I don't know if you can actually like feel a surge of testosterone. But if you can, I did. I'm like, oh, yeah, I just felt like, I don't want to say like felt manly, because that's not really a proper descriptor, but it's just like, and it's not like I felt strong. It's not like I felt like I had energy. I did have those, but it was like this combination of a bunch of different things, and just like feel male, like just like,
I feel male.
Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like, wow, I've never felt like this before. It's 3 days into lifting heavy glass, I guess, and your body does respond to its environment. And testosterone is an energy inducing hormone. So yeah, go ahead.
I learned a few weeks ago that when you start working out, the first 2 weeks of you working out,
yep,
you gain 0 mass.
Yep.
When you get stronger in those first 2 weeks, it is literally just your muscles that are already there going, oh, we need to start doing stuff now.
Every time in the past where I've started to work out, the first 2 weeks, I gain 20 pounds. Straight up. It always happens. And it's not that I'm gaining muscle mass, it's just like my body's like, you need more food. I need more food. Give me more food.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm dealing with right now. I'm actually eating pizza right now in the middle of the podcast. You all haven't figured it out, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I haven't heard the recording yet. Anyway. So I got home on Tuesday and I was like, I don't care what happens. I have to have food right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. Don't care. I'll sleep later. I need food. It was messy. Like,
Thank you for the visual image that I did not want
well, no,
nor need.
like I'm a very clean eater, even in moments of desperation. I'm one of the only people I have ever encountered who eats like barbecue wings without getting sauce everywhere. Um, and it has been commented to me in those situations, like, "Wow, you don't have sauce on you. How do you not have sauce on you? There's like everywhere." I'm like, "Oh, I'm just eating. What's your problem? Why do you look like you have hemorrhage from your throat?"
What do you look like? You've murdered the sauce.
I mean, I didn't realize that chicken vampirism was a thing, but you're making a good case for it. Anyway, so I like the search for food was desperate enough that it was like, I am finding it now. I'll find it. I will eat it. Whatever it is, I don't care. I'm going to find it. Wednesday I was so tired. I was going to come home and I was going to cook, and I'm like, you know what? Rather than do that, I'm just going to stop and get pizza because, yes. And I bought 2 pizzas. Yep.
I always buy 2 pizzas. I bought 2 pizzas Thursday, Wednesday, either Wednesday or Thursday, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have a whole pizza in my fridge because people keep inviting me to go do things.
Yep, I'm actually still eating my leftover pizza. So I'm being controlled. But
yeah, I still have a whole pizza in my fridge. I'm going to start eating on it when I get hungry again tonight.
Yeah, like Monday and Tuesday, I came home and I was just like, I have a bag of cheese from when I made tacos a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, cheese is gone.
Yep. Been there, done that.
It's protein, it's dairy, it's what's the other thing? Calcium maybe. I'm like, let's pound this thing right now. Oh, it's fat. That's what cheese really is. It's fat, and you can get a lot of energy from fat. I'm like, yes, let's get some cheese in me right now. I did have a pound on Monday. I don't have any after Tuesday. And then I went.
Oh, you do. It's just in a different location.
No, I'm pretty sure I worked through it already.
Oh, that's fair. You're a new job.
But yeah, it's a major adjustment.
When my last job, I got down to 150, which was the lowest I'd ever been since high school.
Wow.
Not 150, 250.
Okay.
250. 150 would be really impressive. I got this job,
I want to meet Skinny Masters. Like, that's got to be a whole different person.
No, Skinny Masters died in between 4th and 5th grade.
That's when Skinny Gavi died too. I can tell you.
So I used to be really skinny, and then I was in Pee Wee football, and I wanted to be a linebacker for the defense. I wanted to be the person that went after the ball. That is what I wanted to do, and they told me that I couldn't do that unless I weighed at least 100 pounds because reasons.
Yeah.
And so I was determined to pass the 100 pound mark. And boy, did I pass it.
So when I was 9 going on 10, that 4th to 5th grade transition point, my mother was a teacher at the school that I was going to, and the school year ended, and she went, she still had something to do for like a week after, just like wrapping up final files and stuff like that. And so she left me and my sister at the house by ourselves. I mean, my sister's a couple years older than me, so she's old enough, and I was old enough I could be left on my own for a couple hours. Is fine, or so she thought. I have always been a lover of Mexican food and of tacos and things like that, so she makes me some taco meat, and she.
Yeah, I've heard this story.
Yeah, and I know enough how to put it together on my own.
That was supposed to last you the whole week.
The portionality didn't necessarily follow through, so I used all of it. All of it.
Uh,
And that was the day that Fat Gav was born. And after that, it's been a ride. Um,
mm-hmm.
I am like I'm consistently down from my heaviest. I've never been. I think the heaviest I ever weighed in at was like 287, which is
Yeah, a
a.
year after I started the job I have now, I got up to my highest, which was 280,
Mhm.
and I'm currently now just under 270, and it fluctuates.
Yeah, I got a physical done for everything. I mean, because they want to make sure you're physically capable of lifting glass.
Yeah,
And at that time, I weighed in at 235, which
yeah.
is probably not going to last very long.
I'm hoping that my uh, getting this issue sorted out with my heart is going to allow me to start actually exercising.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason I quit exercise, because 2 years ago I started exercising every single day,
Yeah.
and then on the seventh day, I just I couldn't. Like my heart was pumping. I felt like I was gonna die, so I just stopped again. And now I'm learning that it was my heart and not me. So like I'm hoping that now I have that problem fixed. And
I'm just going to throw this out here. Um, Even professional bodybuilders have a weekly rest day.
yeah, well, I did have rest days, but like this was like day 5.
Gotcha.
And it was like the first workout was like 5 minutes, the second workout was like 10 minutes. They
Okay.
weren't like super intense workouts.
It wasn't challenging Oswin to an hour-long push-up.
No, it
Okay.
was not by any stretch of the imagination.
That's probably going to happen again. He and I have been spending a lot of time.
Have you know?
I'm teaching him a Bible study.
Oh,
He's doing good. I'm having a lot of fun. He is too, although for different reasons. Everyone I teach a Bible study to eventually just starts making fun of the teacher.
well, of course you're easy to make fun of.
Fair. My pastor figured that out. I mean, he's figured that out a long time ago, but he was taking full advantage of that on Thursday. I was teaching our church Bible study, and he starts it off by telling me that I can't use the word commensurate in my Bible study. If I say it, like, there's consequences. And I'm like, why can't I use a word which is in common use in the English language? He goes, I don't understand what it means. Nobody else is going to understand it either. You're not allowed to use it. And then he proceeded to use it wrongly for like the entirety of my Bible study, just throwing it in there for the heck of it because he thought it was funny.
So, sounds about right.
Yeah. Masters.
I feel like we didn't talk last week.
We
We talked a lot last week, but I
Yeah.
feel like we didn't. Like it feels like it's been 2 weeks since we've talked.
I mean, it definitely feels like it's 2 weeks for me, but that's that's for a whole different reason, I'm sure. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
see things right now are just flowing a lot easier, and I don't understand why, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah. Um, and it may be because I didn't sit in my apartment all week. I actually went out places.
Does help.
Uh, huh?
I said that does help.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's that. Maybe that's it. Maybe I've just lived a lot more this week than I have in the past year. Um.
What have you been up to?
Well, I went on Monday to my mentor's daughter's softball game,
Okay.
and then we went back, or then we went to his niece's apartment. She's moving into a new apartment, and so we went to go meet up with her and his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and then we all went out for Mexican food. Um, and then I went Tuesday to watch another softball game, and then went to their um, young adult class. they call it a young adult class, but it's really a prepare you to get married class, apparently.
Gotcha.
Like when I got there, they were doing a newlywed game with my brother and his wife, and then my mentor and his wife, and then two guys, a guy and a girl that just got engaged.
Uh-huh.
And I was just sitting there the entire time thinking Ducky and I could crush this. But we're not a couple anymore. So, yeah. And then Wednesday, like I said, I went to bed at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really exist on Wednesday. Thursday, I don't think I did anything special Thursday except watch. What did I watch? Oh, I watched a movie I'd never seen before. Like I randomly I went on a website and said, okay, what Disney movie do I want to watch? And I kept randomizing it until I found one that was actually on Disney Plus. And I found this movie that I'd never seen before by Disney, that actually was just recently put on Disney Plus.
Okay.
And it's called. Oh, I hit my mic. Sorry. It's called Squanto: The Last Warrior, or something like that. Squanto. It's called Squanto, but I can't remember what the tagline was for it.
Okay.
Let's see if I can. Squanto.
Squanto,
A Warrior's Tale. Squanto: A Warrior's Tale. And it was a really good movie. It's about Squanto, like the real life dude. I don't know how accurate the story is to history, but it was a good movie. Had a lot of people in it that you see in movies. Like you would probably know exactly who they were and what major films they've been in. But I was seeing so many faces and how young they looked, and it was fun just seeing that. I didn't know who any of them. One, I had to look up who a couple of them were that really stood out to me. I don't remember who they are now, but yeah, that's what I did on Thursday. And then last night we were supposed to have D&D, but apparently Mumbles had a breakdown because he couldn't find his mouse. And so he canceled session. So he had to cancel session. And so I went back over to my mentor's house, and they had a fire going, and we played a game. But yeah. And then today, which is probably what you wanted to start talking about, is I went and my dad and I went to the shooting range, and I purchased a gun.
I did see this.
Yes.
By the way, if you are going to post a picture of your gun, you should only post the second one that you sent me, because that one does not display the serial number.
None of them display the serial number.
That is not true. The serial number is quite clearly visible in the first and third. On the lower right-hand corner of the frame. Smith & Wesson, Airweight, to the right of that, bottom S&W USA, right above that. Is that not a serial number?
No, that's where it was manufactured.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. SPFLD, Massachusetts.
Okay. Springfield.
Yeah. The Springfield, yeah. The serial number is behind, like you have to open it up.
Okay.
It's behind the thing that you use to push the shells out.
Ejector.
The ejector, yes. And it's not even visible in the second picture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where it is.
Okay.
I actually had to look on their website to see where it was supposed to be because I couldn't find it, and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Did I accidentally buy a ghost gun from wherever you bought it from?
Let's see. Let's see if that works.
So, J-frame, 38 airweight, internal hammer, I like it. Double action
I like
only.
it too. It shoots really well.
I've
I didn't shoot this. I haven't shot this specific one yet,
mm-hmm,
but I shot their rental.
mm-hmm.
That's the same model and everything.
Yeah.
It shot really well. I didn't shoot really well. My grouping was okay at times, but I was still all over the place
Yeah.
with it. And then,
That's just
but everything was up and to the right.
okay.
Like I was aiming dead center, and it was shooting up and to the right.
I don't think those are adjustable sights, which
They
you
are not.
probably don't want to adjust them too much. I would recommend trying to get a couple different kinds of ammunition because sometimes that will change your point of impact significantly. Um, Other than that, just practice.
Yeah.
Also, this is a double action trigger, so it's going to be a longer, heavier pull than other things, which is
Hmm.
one of the benefits of having a revolver like this. I really like revolvers for concealed carry. I don't have one necessarily for concealed carry, at least not until I can make a couple of updates to the other one that I just got a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
But that one's not a double action trigger; that's a single action only. Um, but yeah, I really like. It looks nice. I did at first. I was like, "Is that like a flaw in the rubber?" And then I realized, no, those are actually wood grips. That's nice.
Yes, I did too. I thought, well, like when he pulled it, because this was actually their showcase gun. It
Uh
was
huh.
literally the last one of these they had, other than their rental. And like when he pulled it out of the case, I was like, I really wish it didn't have that stain on it.
Uh huh.
But now that I've got it in hand and actually looking at it, yeah, that's wood grain and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you don't like it, if you decide for whatever reason you don't like the grips, maybe the recoil is too much or something like that, Smith and Wesson has fantastic aftermarket support for this, and there's a lot of other secondary market providers who also have a bunch of aftermarket grips and stuff. Um, what's the model number?
Um, it is a 38 SLP plus P.
That's what it will fire. That's not the model number.
Oh, oh, you're right.
All
But I don't know then.
right, give me a second. I'll find it.
Is it the 642-2?
642.
Yep.
And the dash two is just for the airweight model, which means that rather than a steel frame, it's a scandium frame.
Yes, it's super light.
Yeah. Yeah, in the okay. It's a nice looking.
Yeah, it is.
Take a look at custom. I'm just curious.
Hmm.
Yeah, you like. I mean, really, if you want to, that could be kind of interesting. You can get what's called a crimson trace grip, which takes away a little bit from the aesthetic appeal of it, but it does add a laser. You can get engraved grips, rubberized grips. You can get these nice rosewood grips. I'm just, I'm just, I'm. Wow,
Ooh,
that was enthusiastic.
it was a hiccup.
I know, still enthusiastic. Very nice. I approve of your choice. Ooh, you can even get like G10 grips, which are, okay. Wood is probably actually, I mean, is probably aesthetically better than G. Fun. Or um, mother of pearl. Oh, I'm gonna get off of this. Primes make you. Ooh, I like that. Again, you don't have to make any alterations to your firearm, but I think that looks pretty. Um, Kind of a wood inlay.
Oh, that is pretty.
I'm sorry for giving you bad ideas. I'm off that page now, I promise. So, what was this about your Dad's 380 being too snappy?
Um,
I see you got some slide bite. That's funny.
yeah. It was.
That's improper grip. I'm sorry to tell you.
It was. I agree. Um, it was like I wasn't expecting the kickback on it
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a small gun,
Oh, that
and I've never
actually
shot a 380 before.
that actually makes it worse. The smaller the gun, the snappier the.
That's fair. Um, but yeah, um, like it's really really hard to pull back.
Mm-hmm.
The slide, the grip is just like literally my bottom two fingers don't fit on the grip.
Yep.
Um, that's how small it is. Um, and yeah, I hated it.
It is
I
properly
shot I shot a full clip and went, nope, not doing that again.
it is properly what is referred to as a pocket pistol, designed for like convenient carry.
Yeah,
For like if you just have to have a gun on you for some reason, or you want to have one on you at all times, you can put that in your front pants pocket. No concern.
and that's what I was doing with it.
Yeah. Um,
But yeah,
it's I mean, it's functional, and you're really not going to be shooting it, even with like the sights on it are laughable. I'm looking at the sights on it. It's like they're there.
yeah,
They are present.
that's
That's the most you can say
that's
about
accurate.
them.
That's accurate.
But like you're not going to be doing any sort of like target shoot, like long distance target shooting, and that's not what it's designed for. It's like if he's within 5 yards and he's a threat, you can give him a deterrent, which is really what all concealed carry generally intended. It's not going to be. Yeah, you should generally hope that you're never going to be in a position to have to use it in any capacity, but
Yeah,
in the event that you do, the likelihood it's going to be some sort of like long range engagement is astronomically limited. So like stuff like that is usually just fine. Little guns like that used to be called Saturday Night Specials, which actually got banned. Ooh, I like that rosewood. Um, but used to be called like Saturday Night Specials because mobsters used to just go around and like, there's a guy who needed to get knocked off on a Saturday night. You just walk
mm-hmm.
up, cheap gun, shoot him, and drop the gun. This was also before fingerprints and things like that, which is why the government had such a problem with them. But now they're kind of making a big comeback, although in larger calibers. Um, there's been a uptick in like the last 3 or 4 years of micro nines,
Mm-hmm.
and those are really interesting. Not all of them are the best executed. I think probably the best one on the market right now is actually the most recent one to come out,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, which gives you 10 rounds of 9mm, and then there's also a secondary magazine that would give you, I think, 14. But that's just my opinion. I haven't fired any of them yet. So, but if I was going to pick it one, I'm probably going to get the Shield Plus, just from all the reviews and stuff I've been hearing and the people that I've been watching, and like, oh yeah, I am a person in generally your same weight class and hand size. You should definitely take a look at this firearm.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of these.
Nice.
Ash. And it's less than an inch thick. It's like just barely over a pound and a half, or not even a pound and a half. I guess fully loaded it is a pound and a half, but it's like super small. So it's just for ultimate concealability, as opposed to, I mean, there are some applications for much larger firearms, and there are much larger firearms to fulfill those rules. So, speaking of firearms, but not in that context, um, are you caught up on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I am.
Oh, in the finale.
I have seen the finale.
Hey,
I watched it this morning as I was waiting for my father to get here.
I watched it today after I got off work and finished vacuuming my church. Because those were two things that had to happen first.
Yep.
I'm just looking at that rosewood handle, and I'm noticing that they also did a really nice old school bluing job on the trigger and the hammer. That's extra beautiful to me. Sorry. I like classic bluing. It's rare now. Anyway, not the point. What was I gonna say? Yes, Falcon and Soldier. So you had not seen episode 5 last time. You've now seen episode 5. What are your thoughts?
Correct. I think that episode has a lot more bearing than you gave it. The fact that they both worked through their issues with not only one another but with themselves was a necessary and much needed episode.
I've read a couple of opinions on it, and I have relaxed my stance that it's unnecessary. But okay, so number one, I'm still a little bit lost, even having watched everything now. Where on earth did Isaiah come from? Like, he just appears and he starts,
he's just 100% from this series.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just like, I may have missed some details about how he came into the picture at all. Because he just
Bucky knew about him and took Steve there. Not Steve.
Sam. Okay.
I still think it's pure gold that just Uncle Sam gets me every time.
Yeah.
Pure gold.
I mean, how could you have a better Captain America? Uncle Sam. Oh, that's spoilers. Darn it.
That is spoilers. Well, I mean, we do not shy away from spoilers on this show.
No, we don't.
We've never shied away from spoilers. But yeah, so I was thinking about this earlier, but with WandaVision, everybody had all these theories about what was going on, who was behind it all, blah, 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
And none of them were right.
Yep.
Now we have Captain America, or we have the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and everybody has all these theories about them, and we're like, it's probably not how they're going to do it. And it was exactly how they did it.
Yep.
Like, you were like, oh yeah, they're going to make him Captain America. And I was like, no, there's no way. They're not going to make him Captain America. He's already refused it. They'll find somebody else.
There was nobody else.
Nope.
And like,
although at the time that I said that, I did not realize that we were only 2 episodes away from the end.
Right.
I thought we were mid-season.
Nope. Although that is something that I did hear, and I kind of agree with. This still felt kind of like a mid-season point.
Yeah.
The finale did.
Yeah.
Like,
they did nicely tie up all the loose ends. Although I did see where they have started production on the next Captain America movie.
Yeah, Captain America.
So this right here could just be the lead up to the Captain America movie.
Which makes sense. Like the article that I was reading about it was pointing out that it feels like this is the point in Captain America, the First Avenger, where Cap first goes AWOL and rescues Bucky.
Yeah.
Like, this is that point. Okay, now he realizes that he's a hero. Where does he go from here? And then there's the rest of the movie where he actually like meets the main villain and fights him and, defeats the Red Skull and this, and like, okay, great.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too at the end of this episode, that Carly did not feel like the main villain.
No. And
And to be fair, she technically wasn't. And everybody on the internet freaking called Agent Carter being the bad guy of this series.
Like, how is that not obvious? Oh, I'm living in Madripoor. I'm fabulously wealthy. I know everything and everyone. I have artwork which has been stolen from every possible corner of the world. No, I'm not doing anything nefarious. Why do you ask?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't die, 100%. Masters.
I don't know what it is. I've started coughing like crazy.
Can you still taste?
Yes, I can still taste.
Okay, just checking. Yeah, she was not a surprise reveal. Although, okay, I'm a gun guy, and I've been through my self-defense courses and like everything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
How stupid was that scene where they have the confrontation between Agent Carter and Carly, and like Carter's got her gun on her, and Carly, and she's like, drop it, blah 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 blah, and then Carly lifts her gun. I'm sorry, in every other situation where that happens, before she can bring it to bear, you shoot that person like 6 times. Like, especially if you know that they're a super soldier, just for a good measure. Like, you shoot them not once, you shoot them a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And like, no, we're not going to shoot her. It's fine. We're just going to have a nice, calm conversation while we point guns at each other. That is so stupid, especially when you had the initiative. You had the initiative and you didn't use it. What's wrong? And then you got shot, and then you had to shoot her anyway.
Yeah.
Cut out the middleman. Like, that's where that scene should have ended. Like, that's the end of her story. She made a poor decision. She tried to level a gun at somebody who already had a gun pointed at her. That's the end of the story. Sorry, we're done.
I still really think that it would have been awesome if Carly had become Captain America, like before she went too far and killed a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish that the scene where Sam is trying to talk her down actually went through, and he starts talking her down, but she doesn't join right away. But then one of her other coworkers or one of her other people goes too far, and she's like, no, we can't do it this way.
Right.
And that's when she joined up with Sam and them to take down the rest of the group. I think that would have, and then it ended with her being Captain America. I thought that would have been gold.
There was a possibility for that, but I think that would have felt kind of unearned. Because they just dropped her in. As much as I like Erin Kellyman as an actress, it just would have felt very unearned. Like, oh, we just randomly found a person and they're the new Captain America.
Well, and it wouldn't have been an immediate thing. It would have required more building up. But, she's already a super soldier.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. She got shot like what, twice, and she went down from that. I don't see Steve Rogers going down from getting shot a couple times. I can see him like taking a couple to the chest and be like, man, this really hurts, but I'm going to be okay in a couple weeks. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, the not roided out version of Super Soldier Serum is great and all, but it probably left a little bit to be desired in terms of the durability of your super soldiers.
Yeah.
If they look like they can take a hit, they can probably take a hit, not just give one.
But also, we never actually saw Captain America get shot because he always blocked the bullets with the shield.
Yes, that's the part that everyone seems to forget. He's not just a super soldier. He also has an impenetrable vibranium shield. It's kind of necessary.
And he's also a battle master. Like, he is a strategist.
He learned to be that. That's something.
Well,
different.
He did.
But
it was also an innate quality that he just had.
I disagree.
I mean, if you look at when he was still skinny, and all the things that they were like, okay, if you can do this, then you blah blah blah, and then he found a way to do it. Like, if you can reach this flag, then you get to ride back in the Jeep.
And
he goes and freaking pulls the pin.
Right.
It's like it was something he had in him, and then the super serum just enhanced his abilities to do that.
There's a level. I mean, he's a tool user.
Yes.
That's what made him special. He was very good at utilizing, like when he's still skinny in the alleyway behind the theater getting beat up. He grabs a
He
garbage
grabs
can lid.
the garbage can lid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whatever's available to him, he's almost like Jackie Chan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a weird way to describe Captain America. But I mean, that's kind of how they played him. Like whatever he finds at hand, he finds a way to use. Then he uses it creatively. That's why the shield throwing became kind of synonymous with him. Which is actually kind of funny because it makes less sense out of context with Steve Rogers. That other people would just, except for the fact that, like, okay, well, Steve threw the shield, and now we just copy him.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And I'm really kind of glad that they're doing it in a less effective manner than Steve did. Because, I mean, although it still doesn't make any sense that Sam can throw the shield around as well as he does, I'm assuming it's heavy. Like,
yeah,
25 pounds.
It's also
at least.
made of It's also made of vibranium.
Yeah,
which can store energy and then release it. So when he does the wind up to throw it, it's probably storing some of that kinetic energy to help it fly.
Possibly.
He probably can't throw it. He probably can't throw it as hard as Steve could. But that's why he also uses the rockets sometimes to help him boost that power behind it.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed that Sam isn't a super soldier because I definitely thought that was gonna be things with Zemo, but you know.
Yeah.
I am really glad though that Zemo is like in prison and he still gets his way. We have not seen the end of him. I want Zemo to be. So I now have a fan pitch. We need Doctor Doom in the MCU. Doctor Doom opens up the door for so many things to happen.
And you want Zemo to be Doctor Doom?
No, Zemo and Doctor Doom are always separate. But the way that we could introduce Doctor Doom is that Zemo is European nobility, and so he gets a visit from do like one of those little Marvel one-shot things that they were doing back in like the early 2000s. Like when mostly they were just sending Phil Coulson around to talk to people. Like send somebody, or just do a little one shot on the raft. Somehow or another, Zemo has a visitor, and you never see him on screen. You just like see him like from like the chest down. He's like his hands are folded on the table. He's talking. He's gesturing, but you're not really sure who it is. And they're just talking as like they're old friends. They know each other. And the conversation kind of turns from like, okay, well, what landed you here? How's life going? Is the prison food as terrible as they say? Yada yada. To being like, as proper nobility, this is no place for a man like you, particularly not one with your talents and gifts. He starts to explain. He starts to like hint at things that Zemo could do outside of the raft, and perhaps there might be a way to make that happen. And then, after a certain level of just kind of like plot building and world setting, he says, well, it appears that my time is done here, and he kind of stands up, and you finally get like a full look at the guy, and it doesn't matter really who it is at this point, just someone playing him. He says, don't worry, Zemo, we'll be in touch, or something like that. He's just like, we'll be in touch, and he's already intimated at this point that he has like connections to world leaders who would be able to get Zemo out, and that there's a place for him in wherever this person is from. And he says, Zemo goes like, well, have a good flight back to Latveria, Victor, and he just walks out the room. First Victor being Victor Von Doom, and then we just have this nice little setup, and like, okay, then we can do something with him, because then he's there. And it would make sense, because Zemo is European royalty, that he would have some connection with other European royalty, particularly in small little segmented off kingdoms like Latveria and Sokovia. I'm just pitching. I think that'd be, because apparently we're not going to be able to get the one where, that I pitched initially, where like he comes back where he was one of the people who was snapped, and he comes back, and he meets up with Chadwick Boseman, or Chadwick Boseman's dead now, so it really can't happen. But meets up with Black Panther and is like, hey, we're trying to protect our country. Can we form stronger ties between Latveria and Wakanda? And then try and use vibranium as a means of doing that. But now we have a viable like person who has a particular set of skills, if you will, that could be very useful to a person who's trying to reorganize his country in the wake of an unsnapping of all the populace. If Zemo was there if Zemo was not one of the ones who was snapped, and it would kind of appear as though he was not, it would make sense that if, in fact, Doom was somebody who was snapped, he comes back and he just needs someone who knows the lay of the land particularly well, and who better to fit that bill than his old friend Zemo. It would work. It would work narratively. Basically, I just want Daniel Bruhl to be in a bunch of things because he's rapidly like this series has made him one of my new favorite actors. Like, he's so good. He was almost completely wasted in Civil War. Why did they not give him more screen time? Give him something to do. He's got like less than 8 minutes of screen time in Civil War. And he's the main bad guy. Like, he's the guy who sets the whole thing in motion. He's got less than 8 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much that they could do with him. And they could even set it up so that he fractures with Doom because he's there as like, a manager of the country. He's doing this and he's doing that. And he's actually being productive and helpful. And then, 6 to 8 months down the line, he discovers that Doom is actually building his legion of Doombots. And he's like, no, you're proliferating this arms race. And he tries to stop him, which would be very much in character with Zemo because he is an anti-power person. He does not want anyone to have that kind of power.
Yeah.
I love Zemo so much. They've written him so well. If they can maintain the continuity of his character, he is one of the best written characters in the MCU right now. And I love it.
I can tell.
I'm to use the internet term, I'm standing for Zemo right now. He's so good.
Use an internet term?
Do you know what's
an internet term?
It is. It's not a good one. You've heard of OnlyFans, right?
Wow.
It stands the guys who show up and pay like $100. Those are the guys. I've never been on the site. I never will go on the site. I make fun of stands, but yeah, I'll stand for Zemo.
Wow.
And please give him more lines and things to do in the MCU because he's amazing.
I learn something new about you every week, Gabby.
I there are things that I like, and when I like them a whole lot. And then I want to see more of them.
I know this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I know this. I was telling my father this about you today.
I came up as a topic of conversation.
Yeah, because he was saying that he wishes he knew more about guns.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, Gabby knows a lot about guns. And then he said, did you tell him that I bought a Glock 19? And I said, yeah, I think I told him last week. I said, but he said, well, what did he think? I said, he didn't like it. It's like he doesn't like Glocks. And then that's how the conversation got started.
Mm-hmm. It's not that I don't like Glocks. They're functional. They do.
Yeah, that's what I told him that they're not unique.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has one.
They are the Honda Civic of firearms. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing exciting about them.
The guy at the gun store today said they were the Toyota of guns.
Close enough. Toyota Camry, Honda Civic, interchangeable. Ford Fiesta. And I guess it can't be Ford Fiesta because they're Austrian made, but that's a whole other story. The Volkswagen Bug. No, because even those are more unique. What would be the Volkswagen Bug of firearms? I don't know. Like, Kel-Tec is Tesla. That's pretty obvious because they just make weird crap and say, let's see if it works. And sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But it's always really cool when either way. They just make weird stuff. That's why I like Kel-Tec so much. Well, that and I've never had a bad experience with them. I actually finally got my my second Kel-Tec pistol back from Florida a couple days ago, and I haven't gotten that to the range yet. But I'm hoping, and I'm very confident that they have been able to rectify its extractor issues. That's just yeah.
While we're still on the topic, Brokebutt wanted me to let you know that she bought a 6-seer P365.
Yep, I figured she would. She only got the 65, not the XL.
No, they actually gave her the XL.
Oh,
It's not what she paid for or what she wanted, but they actually gave it to her, uh, and she was very upset with it. So she like because she bought it at one place and then went to another place to meet up with her uncle, not uncle,
uh-huh.
to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And she got it out and realized it was it wasn't the gun that she actually wanted and told them that she wanted.
Right.
But they had one there that she could rent
Mm-hmm.
that was the XL. And so she shot it and she said she didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
So she went back and got the right thing.
Yeah. The 365 and 365 XL are also part of that new wave of micro nines. Let me actually see if I can just get a picture of all of them together, because they're really cool. And in fact, the 365 you might argue is what was the first one. No, actually, the first one would actually be the Kel-Tec, I think P11, something like that. Here we go. 5. Like they're super small.
Yeah.
And the XL is just a little bit bigger in all the dimensions except for width. And
Yeah, I shot the one she bought.
mm-hmm.
Not the one she bought, but the same model.
Yeah.
When we were testing them out, and I liked it a lot too.
Yeah. Let's see.
But I really wanted a revolver, so.
Hey. I also really want to. Actually, I want a couple revolvers. This is it? Okay, let's see what we got here. We got. That's the Taurus. That's the Smith & Wesson. That's the Ruger. That's the Kel-Tec. Kimber. That's most of them. There's a Car 9 in there too. Like these are all kind of in the same class. Same class of firearms.
Mm-hmm.
All micro double stack. Cool stuff. Except for I don't think the Car is double stack. That's the middle one on the left. And maybe not the one in the center. I don't know what the one in the center is at all, which is rare. What is that actually? Now that I'm looking at it, what is that? I haven't the foggiest idea. No idea. Not bad looking. It's kind of an old classic design. But yeah, the Kel-Tec P11 was like the first one. Is it the P11 or the PF9? It's the. They don't make them anymore, unfortunately. They didn't work all that well. Yeah, it's the PF9. But the design is what has carried over into every other Micro 9 since then. So that's what you can always count on Kel-Tec for. They move the bar, they push the industry forward and make people actually do engineering work and design something new.
Nice.
Yeah. Half of them are ugly as sin, but I mean, they're still cool. Anyway, that was fun. Anyway, back to Falcon Winter Soldier. Anything else we got to wrap up in that? I'm feeling like there's something more we can draw from Falcon Winter Soldier. Something more in there. What do you think of the new captain suit?
I really like it. I like that he still has the wings.
He kind of has to.
Well, yeah, he kind of has to, but I just really like it. I also like. I was thinking that because you know how they made a big deal up front about how the wings he was using was technically government property and the shield was government property, but it was a gray area. They didn't really own it. Well, now they 100% do not own his suit or his wings because it was made in Wakanda.
Although this does potentially bring up a certain international issue of like, who are these Wakandan people arming people with, technically super weapons?
Yeah, well, Wakanda came out.
I know, but they're arming foreign nationals with super weapons?
They're arming vigilantes with super weapons. Yeah.
Yes, that is technically an international problem.
Who's going to stop them?
Well, that may be a storyline that plays out in the future. I'm pretty sure, like if Doom comes in, he would be able to play the political side of that to be like, hey, we have to stop these Wakandan people because they are drastically altering just how things work around here. They are now the power brokers in the world. They have upset the balance of power. We have to stop them. Even more so.
You can't say power broker. That title's taken.
Well, okay. But, I mean, the same concept still applies. And especially because I believe it was hinted at in Endgame that they were kind of being an international police force during the blip.
Wakanda was?
Yeah, because they had, these super advanced weapons. And they were like, okay, well, we have to maintain order. And so they were just, I mean, with permission, as it were. But still, it's just like showing up places. We are Wakandans, and we are here to make sure that you don't do anything that you shouldn't.
Well, I love how you bailed on the accent.
I'm like, wait a second, that's... I started into it, I'm like, nah, that's probably not the best thing to do, but it's out there. I thought it through as it was in process.
Never. It's rare for you. I'm proud of you.
It's a sign of growth. Someday I may think it through before I do something, but not today.
Today is not that day.
Someday the courage of men may fail, but it is not this day. I use that probably more than any other quote from Lord of the Rings. It is not this day. And I always like properly misappropriate. The day may come where I will think through my words before I speak them, but it is not this day. Yes, that is actually most often the context. I said that way too much. Probably means I should make it this day, but it's not going to be this day. Again, it follows that concept I said that realization I came to earlier, where it's like, oh yeah, I don't consider my audience. I don't consider who's listening to me. I don't consider what they think, what they feel, their situation. I just, there it is. Same
Welcome
answer.
Welcome to this podcast, Gabby.
I know. I mean, well, no, this podcast is the format where you can just say whatever, right?
Sure.
More or less. Like, this is not the place to be particularly gentle necessarily with your description of things. You're just saying stuff. What guy's the internet? Who cares?
Nobody yet.
Exactly. Sass cares. There we go. We went.
Does he really though, or is he just humoring us at this point?
I think he cares. He responds enough. I think. By the way, can you say something? I bumped my microphone, not my microphone, my headset, and I'm not sure if I can still hear you or not.
Yes. Can you still hear me or not?
I can still hear you, I think.
You think? You're not sure? You're not certain?
It's questionable from time to time. Like I can see your thing lighting up. I hear you in one ear, but not necessarily the other. It's what happens.
That's fair.
Um, yeah. So, I'm learning. I'm growing slowly. Sometimes intentionally slow.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Oh. Have you? You don't watch trailers. You haven't seen the Shang-Chi.
Don't even know what you're talking about.
Shang-Chi is the next Marvel movie that's supposed to come out as soon as Black Widow does, or something like that. Because they're starting to get to the point where things are going to get really crowded if they're not careful. But it's been made, and it's an introduction to a new character who's kind of picking up where Iron Man 3 left off, where he's actually going to fight the Mandarin, and there's actually going to deal with the 10 Rings of Power. He's basically just a martial arts guy, and then other things will happen later on. How that plays out, I don't know. I know nothing about the character. But when they announced Phase 4, this was the movie that for some reason just kind of stuck out to me as being potentially the one I was most interested in seeing. So we'll see what happens. At least at the initial announcement.
Then.
I mean, yeah. The trailers, it's okay. I don't think the trailer does a very good job of communicating really why I would want to see this movie. But I did only watch it once, like in a slightly distracted sense, so maybe I just need to rewatch it, but like I don't know. I might just be finicky again.
Again?
I mean,
when did you stop?
Fair point. I don't know. It just I'm not sure. I'm not as excited having seen the trailer as I was before I saw the trailer. Which is probably not a good sign. Or at least not a good thing. I don't know how to say that. One of those. Both. Somewhere in the middle.
Both is good.
Both is good. ¿Por qué no las dos? Guns. Oh. I'm not sure if I want to say this on the air.
Then don't.
I'm kind of conflicted as to whether I want to or not.
Topic?
The topic that probably got played out 6 months ago. Relationships.
You found one?
Nope.
Then what's there to talk about?
I have been badgered and bullied into attempting to join a dating site.
Oh, yeah, you've told me about this.
Oh, I did? I don't know if I told anybody else about it. But
you didn't at the time. You hadn't done it yet.
Yeah, well, I have made the first step in trying to do it. That's where I am now.
Okay.
I haven't made a lot of progress, but I've started the process. I haven't had time this week.
There is apparently a female at my mentor's church that I need to look into.
Okay.
Apparently there's two of them, but I've seen one of them and have already decided that was a no. I haven't seen the other one yet, though.
Okay. How?
But she has a son.
Okay.
And he has just been diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Apparently, he's a very, very sweet kid, though.
Them are.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
The ones that I've met, most of them are.
Thought you didn't like kids.
People with cerebral palsy.
Oh.
It's different.
My ex-wife had it.
I didn't meet her.
Fair. That's fair.
I saw this a couple days ago. I've been waiting for an opportunity to use it. It seems like as good a place as any. This is generally my reaction to children.
But then again, you are very small. I mean, that's a fair reaction to children.
I mean, that's all I got. I do not know how to relate to them in the slightest. Oh,
Yeah, I was over at their house last night, and they were telling me about telling me about these two girls, and they were talking about the son, and I said, I'm not sure how I feel about marrying somebody that already has a son. I said I don't even like kids, and with unison in their voice, everybody around went, "Yes, you do." I was like, "What? I don't. I promise."
there's a difference between liking kids and being able to work with them.
Yes, there is.
You have a lot of learned experience at being able to work with kids.
Uh-huh.
That can be mistaken for liking kids.
Apparently.
I do not have a lot of learned experience working with kids, and so therefore it is never assumed that I am good with kids.
I'm good with kids. I
Or-
just don't like them.
I don't like them either. I don't like them. I don't work with them. People have no questions about that. Oh,
What?
anything else here? Apparently, guys stole the Big Bird costume.
Wow.
Which is great. So the article here.
Those people are my heroes for some reason.
Oh, it gets so much better. The police searching for the Big Bird Bandits. The Big Bird Bandits, who allegedly stole a Sesame Street costume from an Australian circus, have arrested and charged two men. The yellow Big Bird costume, valued at tens of thousands of dollars, according to CNN affiliate 7 News, disappeared earlier from a circus area in Bonnython Park, Adelaide, this week, but was returned early on Wednesday morning. The Sesame Street costume was dumped back at the circus by an electricity box with an apology note in the beak, South Australia police said. The note reads, "We are so sorry. We had no idea what we were doing or what our actions would cause," the note read. "We were just having a rough time and we're trying to cheer ourselves up. We've had a great time with Mr. Bird. He's a great guy and no harm came to our friend. Sorry to be such a big burden," spelled Birden. "Sincerely, the Big Bird Bandits."
And they found somebody and arrested them?
Two men aged 26 and 22 were on Friday charged with the theft and being unlawfully on premises. The men have been granted bail and will appear at Adelaide Magistrate Court on the 30th of June. It's been a while since we've had a Muppet reference, and I think that's the best possible one we could have had.
I agree. Oh. Did I send that to you?
I don't know.
There have been a couple of TikToks that I've seen recently with Muppet references in them, and I can't remember if I sent you on the 17th. I sent you one.
I don't know if that was Muppets or not. I forget that one was.
Oh yeah, this guy's singing a song in the different voices of the Muppets. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And he does it in different voices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was that one, and there was another one. I don't remember if I don't think I sent it to you, or here it is. Maybe I did. Oh no, that's the spoon thing. Yeah, there was another one that came up recently. Apparently, I didn't send it to you.
There was also the link that I sent you about the lightsabers in Disney. which
Oh, the price hike.
yep, it's only $20 more, but like still, we made the right call getting them while we were there.
Yeah. Yep.
I
I
know
still need to find a black crystal.
where you could just get the little RFID thing and
Yeah, that's not as exciting. Because I want the crystal, not the color of the lightsaber.
who was the guy who ended up getting like 300 crystals trying to get the black one, and had like fans sending him crystals?
I have no idea, but I wish I was that person.
There was a guy on YouTube who was trying to get one, and like he bought so many crystals. Every time he went to Disney, he would get like 2 or 3.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
And he's like a guy who like lives there and goes there like every week.
Yeah.
And so, hundreds of crystals and nothing. And then like finally after like 6 months of just buying crystals, he finally gets one. Yeah.
Yeah. I do remember that. I don't remember his name or the YouTube channel for that matter.
I don't remember either, but apparently it's a task. There are different red crystals though, so I guess that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, all of mine are Darth Vader.
I'm not sure what the differences are, and I don't know.
Voice. If you put them in the kyber or the holocrons,
Mm-hmm.
they have different voices. And yeah, I have 3 of them, and all of them are Darth Vader. Well, I have 2 of them now because I gave one to Ducky.
Don't they also make the lightsaber itself run differently?
No, not that I know of.
I'm not sure where I heard that. Let's see. Do the different red crystal from what's the name of the shop?
Savvy's Workshop.
No. Up. Make the lightsabers. Right out. An article here, not a video. Even though the video would probably be more useful. Workshop. This is telling about the process.
Did I ever tell you that I got my money back out of the stocks that I purchased?
No, you said that you were waiting for him to go back up, but you didn't tell me how things were going.
Yeah, so I woke up one morning and was going about my day, and about the time the stock market opened, about 8:30, I went, I wonder how things are doing, and I looked, and one of the stocks that I'd put a bunch of money into had skyrocketed overnight, like almost triple what it was the night before. And so I sold it immediately because it gave me all of the money I invested back into it.
Right.
So and actually over. So I was able to get my 500 back out and then put I'd made $100 over.
Right.
And I put that back into other stocks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got my money back. So everything that's in the stocks now is profit. And so right now I'm sitting at $94.63 in profit.
Nice. I've been watching Dogecoin, and I've been thinking about getting into it just for the memes.
I really, really, really wish that I could trade that on this app. I don't want to open up a separate thing just to get Dogecoin, but I almost dropped $500 into it one day because it was like at the time it was like 0.0002 cents per stock or per coin.
Well, I've been thinking about doing,
and so I could have gotten thousands of coins, and it's like almost tripled and doubled since then.
Well, it's actually worth like I think like 12 cents or something right now.
Yeah, it was worth almost nothing when I thought about doing it, but I didn't want to open up another account just to do that. I should have, because now I would be sitting on, like several $1,000s, but
Well, I'm thinking about getting into it, but doing it in the classical long-term investing route. And
yeah,
because it's cheap, you can just buy a lot of it for very little.
yeah,
And so my thought is if I start doing what's called dollar cost averaging, where you just take a little bit of money every month and you throw it in there, just wait and see what happens. And then if nothing like it appears to be on the rise, over 6 months, just see what happens. Maybe my $10 stays $10. Maybe my $10 turns into $5, or maybe it turns into $600. We don't know. But just having the ability to just like continually buy little increments, I think is probably the best way to. I mean, it's historically the best way to earn money in the market. And setting yourself an amount to invest on a regular interval, rather than saying, well, I'm going to buy this much of it, like as total like number of coins or whatever, gives you a much better return on investment as opposed to chasing the big win. I mean,
yeah,
sometimes you can cash out of the big win, but in actual practice, the long term is really much more stable. Also, diversification is much more stable, but here we are.
um. So, side topic.
Yeah, sure.
Um, my lease was up
Mm-hmm.
at the end of this month,
Yep.
and so I was looking for a house to buy.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm no longer doing that. There's just nothing in my area. Like, there's been maybe 5 things in my area that were at the price I needed them and were at the standards I needed them, and I got outbid on every one of them. Um, so I'm to hold off at least another year and try and build up a bigger nest egg to dump into it,
Mm-hmm.
and also hopefully pay down enough debt that my debt to income ratio is better so that I can have a better loan. Um, but that's not what I was going to say. That just kind of happened to flow out of my mouth as I was talking. Um, what I was going to say is, so at the same time, my internet has changed.
Okay.
Um, because every year Comcast is stupid, and so they jack your prices up.
Yep.
And so I uh, do the thing I do every year and contacted them and said, "Hey, this is stupid. Fix it."
Yep.
Um, and they droned on, well, you've got faster speeds now, blah 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 blah. I don't care. It was $60. Make it $60 again or less,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll just cut my internet off.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, we can do this for $66." And I said, "No, $60 or less." And they're like, "Oh, well, the only plan we have is less than 60 is this one for 45, and it's only 25 megabytes." I said, "Fine, I will suffer."
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually not even been suffering because all I do is watch videos. I don't really do any online gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I say, and even
that,
then, you don't need 25 to online game.
yeah.
You need
I
a
mean,
little
25 is fine. I'm not streaming anymore.
right.
So that was the big reason I had the faster internet, and
Yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So
For whatever
yeah,
reason,
25 is fine.
for whatever reason, the place I live at, they have this deal worked out with AT&T, where no matter what speed you get, it's the same price. So I could be paying $60 a month for 0.25 megabits per second download, or I could be paying $60 a month for a terabyte.
Yeah.
Not a terabyte, gigabyte. Yeah,
Yeah.
gigabyte. Like terabyte. Wow.
Terabyte would.
oh, terabyte, man.
Let's download all the knowledge of the known universe in 0.2 seconds.
Let's make this happen. No, that's that. We're not a terabyte yet.
By the time we get to terabyte download speeds, the amount of knowledge in the world is just going to be. It won't be 0.2 seconds to download everything by then.
Probably isn't right now, even if we could do that.
But anyways, continuing on my side topic, my cell phone speed is now faster than my plug-in internet speed.
It's fine.
I just think that's funny.
Oh Lord. Oh man. Okay, so what else we got on the agenda here tonight?
I don't know that I have anything else.
Gary's in pain. Masters bought a gun. The Falcon Winter Soldier. Big Bird. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's No, I think that's about it. Unless I'm being stupid, which is always very possible.
I mean, we're only 2 weeks away from the Bad Batch.
We are only 2 weeks away from the Bad Batch. Very excited about that.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking there was something else. Oh, Cruella comes out on the 28th. I don't care anything about that.
I want to see it. I'm not gonna pay.
I want to see it too. Yeah, I want to see it too. I don't want to see it bad enough to premiere it, or to go see it in theaters. But yeah,
I mean, that has never stopped me before. Infer from that statement what you will. Yeah, there's definitely some ways around that.
My mother's cooking enchiladas for lunch tomorrow.
That's nice.
I'm excited about that. Oh, the clothes that I bought specifically to propose in came in this week.
Oh,
they're really comfy.
Just in time.
Yeah, they're really comfy.
wait. Let me find it.
Are you doing the duck season, rabbit season thing now?
No. I'm gonna find. I'm theorizing what this looked like.
I will tell you this.
No,
not
yet. Gotta find it.
Okay.
Where is it?
You are struggling right now.
Google is abandoning me, okay? I'm tempted to use Bing. No.
It's not that bad, Gabby. It's not that bad. Awkward.
Wow,
silence.
it's not showing it to me at all. Like I'm trying to find a full body
use your
shot.
words, Kevin.
I'm trying to find a full body shot of this guy, and there's just nothing. Darn it! It's all memes. Nope, all memes. None, and all of them are cropped in such a way that you can't see anything. Have you ever seen the movie Dodgeball?
Yes.
Okay. White Goodman, when he puts on his shiny shoes, that white suit. This is the close I'm gonna get. There we go. His white leisure suit with his shiny shoes.
Okay, it looks nothing like that.
Oh, but wait, here we go. Here, finally, kind of halfway. It's a terrible picture, so I'll kind of crap on it. But I mean, there we go. The pictures of Masters and Ducky.
No. Just no. Just delete that from the internet.
Refuse.
No. Yeah, no. Just no. But they were supposed to come the Monday after she broke up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Had she done that, I probably would have thrown them at the mailman.
Gotcha.
But no, they came this week, Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember which day, but they came this week, and they were all super comfy. No, but the outfit part that I was actually looking for uh, was blue jeans, which actually these are black blue jeans, so they're black jeans, not blue jeans, and a purple shirt.
I'm not sure if that takes them from being sad to being depressed, or if it's better. But
They're just death. It's just dead. And a purple shirt because purple's my favorite color.
Okay.
So that's what I was going to wear, and but everything's super comfy. I'm wearing the pants right now. I'm wearing one of the shirts. It's a blue gray shirt that's like a half quarter button up, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 3 buttons up at the top.
It's called a polo shirt.
No, it's not. It doesn't have the collar.
Oh, that's weird.
It's like a baseball tee but it's short sleeve. But it's also not a t-shirt. I don't know. It's weird to describe, but yeah. But yeah, I got 3 shirts, the pair of blue jeans, and a pair of gym shorts. And I actually went back on there and ordered 2 more pairs of gym shorts and another shirt. That's an orange V-neck.
I just learned something which I kind of hoped was a thing, and now that I've discovered it, I'm not sure if it's actually a good thing.
Okay.
Because I was looking up these pictures of, Gomez Adams and his shoot and everything. And I'm like, man, I kind of feel cheated that Tim Curry never played Gomez Adams. Tim Curry did, in fact, play Gomez Adams, but the film looks terrible. Like very bad. I've never seen it before. Yeah. Like, no, I don't know who any of these people are, but I mean, I'm probably gonna see it now just because Tim Curry's in it. But like, does not look anywhere near as good as the other ones. I'm disappointed.
Well, alrighty then.
I mean, because
we can both be disappointed together.
Like it's Tim Curry. He should be the best Gomez Adams. He should be, but he doesn't look that at all. Or at least the rest of the family doesn't seem to match him. Yeah. This looks like one of those 90s straight to VHS movie releases. Oh, that's the difference, is it? Is it? Let me see. Emily. Not the 1964. Looking for the 1991. Okay. What company made this? Because original one I think was done by Disney, and I think the other one is Warner Brothers. Raul Julia. He was the guy from Who was the distributor? Studio. IMDb, do not abandon me. Asher, are you still there? Or if I completely lost you in this one? Okay.
Both.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. I must know the answer. Release date and filming locations, don't care. Company credits. Paramount. Okay. So yeah. Kind of. The Paramount one from the 90s was fantastic. I have not seen the other one. Although, now that I know it's a thing, I'm definitely going to be looking it up. Although it looks nowhere near as good. I mean, yeah. You can't beat Christopher Lloyd as Fester. And you really also can't beat Christina Ricci as Wednesday, or I mean, it's such a good cast. Like, yeah. All right, I'm getting off the Addams Family thing. I'm trying to, failing probably. All right. Is that enough asides and randomness, or do we got anything else?
I have nothing else.
Can't believe closing. What is this? Masters. Like, really?
I didn't make it.
No. I don't even care about the meme. I'm talking about the concept of the film here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why? Okay. Oh, I really don't want to crop this and throw it in my Discord, but like I almost have to because this is so stupid. Yes, open. We're gonna okay. We don't need the Gandalf part of it.
That's the best part.
I'm not sure if I want that in my Discord though. Like, we're just, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna do it. We're just doing it. You know. I'll blame you, Master. I'm blaming you.
Don't blame me. Blame the internet. Blame Hollywood.
Yeah, blame Hollywood. Still, that being said, blame Masters. All right.
Why are you typing? Oh, you guys put it.
Okay, so let's discuss.
Oh my goodness! Why are we discussing this?
Okay, because the original Brokeback Mountain, which I've never seen, and I have no intention of
Nor
seeing.
have I.
I don't care about that movie, but I understand why they made the movie to a certain extent. Well, aside from agendas, yada yada. Like, there is a story to be told there. There's two guys kind of wrapped up in the real world, yada yada. Who cares? That's you know, I'm not going to try and comment on that. The world has always been a lot more accepting, perhaps, of this version as opposed to the original version. I don't know anybody who, even when the first one came out, would have been like, no, I don't want to see two pretty girls on screen getting friendly with each other. I don't want to see that. Like,
I'm having no part of this discussion.
Like, I'm just saying, like, what's the point? It's already been done, and probably been done in a much more meaningful manner than they're ever going to be able to pull this out, because the only people who are going to show up to see this movie are going to be going because of the Gandalf reason. Like, no, like, even I'm struggling to not use words. Okay. even the ladies who have great affection for other ladies are also only going to be going for the Gandalf reason. I mean, why? I mean, unless you're just straight up going to make this one of those kind of films, I mean, want to do that, fine, but, bill it as such. We used to have theaters for that, special theaters that people didn't go to in the broad daylight. At least not without their face covered, and not because of COVID. These people with any level of, I mean, I guess if you're going there, you didn't really have any self-respect to begin with, but come on. Like, why? Why? Just makes me unhappy. This bothers me.
I can tell.
Like, I know exactly the kind of people who thought and who still think that this is a good idea. And those are not good people. And, like, shame on the actors. Like, shame on the actors. They should know better. You're not going to be at this. You are not communicating any sort of message at this point. You are literally just making Gandalf memes. There we go. Put this in here just for the Hollywood is dead. There we go. There we go.
And when we've known for years that they have been out of ideas, so
I'm trying not to say the word of what this actually is because it's really what it is, and it's just gonna like 50 Shades of Grey was basically this thing, but not like also didn't watch that or read the book or anything else, but like what's going on. But I've heard that they really didn't show anything, so it was kind of like this neutered version of what it was intended to be as. This is basically that. It's probably just gonna be this slow burn with no payoff without a little bit of imagination. Anyway, leaving that where it needs to lie dead and never to be resurrected, although it's clearly going to be coming to theaters in 2022. Yay. If you folks are just listening to the audio, you really need to join the Discord just so that you can get context, because I'm not going to say some stuff. In my Discord, I didn't say it. Other people did. Yeah. I'm upset.
Are you?
I am. I am legitimately upset. This is so stupid. There's no purpose for this whatsoever. No legitimate, defensible purpose for this whatsoever. Masters, or not Masters, Cass gets it. I appreciate his give him a hell bear for that. All right. I'm done, Masters. Ruined my night.
Fair.
So with that, thank you everyone, Sass, for joining us, listening in, enduring rants and raves and this. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, please feel free to leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. If you would like to help us grow, if you'd like to torment people that you know, the best way to do both of those things is to share this podcast wherever you are inclined to do so on social media and the likes, or just tell people about it and just tell them it's the worst one out there. You'll find it. Yeah. I guess we'll see you all next time. Bye.